the other guest that you had coming has talked about the insurance, car insurance, and the reductions, and you've spoken out on it as well. So, what is so wrong about a 15% decrease in car insurance?
Well, the first things first, we're going to say what's wrong. They haven't consulted with all of the people throughout this province. It's been a knee-jerk reaction to attract voters in the GTA, specifically the Brampton area. And if we're going to take a look at revitalizing insurance in Ontario, we have to take a look at the entire picture and consult with the right people to understand what the real issues are. And that is, you know what, when we talk to consultants and companies, we understand that there is a little bit of wiggle room, that they could potentially sharpen their pencil, but there's other things that they have to take into consideration. For instance, it can't be an immediate 15% reduction, because right now there's such a glut of insurance claims in the queue right now, they really don't know how much that backup is going to cost them at the end of the day. So it can't be, unfortunately it's bad news, an immediate 15% reduction. It has to be a gradual initiative. Over and above that, a 15% reduction, is that across the board? We don't know the details. Does that go for everyone that's been charged with impaired 2 or 3 times? Is that for your 19-year-old son? Is that for a 25-year-old young man trying to get a start? We don't know the details. Over and above that, the largest issue in Ontario's insurance industry today is fraud in the GTA, and reducing insurance 15% is doing nothing to address that issue. And those would be some of the things that Jeff would gladly speak to you about once he gets here.
I'm giving everybody a turn here. Greedy.
Apparently, too, Lisa. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Apparently, too, Lisa. A lot of the insurance companies have all of a sudden upped their rates in order to, if this 15% reduction comes through, their rates have already been raised. So really it's not a reduction.
No, not at all. And there's so much that needs to be identified when we take a look at rejigging the insurance companies and insurance overall in this province to make sure it's affordable, because that's ultimately what we're striving for in the PC caucus. It's affordability and reliability within this province, so people can start getting ahead and have a little bit left over in their pocket at the end of the day.
What's the money going to be used for tonight? It's a fundraiser.
Yes, it is. And actually, I'm really proud. The members of the local Huron-Bruce Progressive Conservative Provincial Riding Association, they work hard all year round. And first and foremost, it's a fun social. That's what the bulk of the dollars are going towards covering off the event tonight. We have Cardiff Catering. They're renowned around this area, and so it's a treat to have them here again. And ultimately, whatever's left over from our social evening tonight will go into the war chest, if you will, in preparation for the next election.
For senators.
Pardon me? Hopefully.
Legislature has come to an end. Another session has come to an end. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, how would you rate this past session?
You know, I'm going to rate it no more than 1.5, because if people were to peel away the layers of the onion and take a look at what the new Premier has accomplished, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. From an overall legislative perspective, take a look at Hansard, take a look at the record. Not one piece of legislation has passed. And in fact, on Monday and Tuesday, I've never been more disgusted, because there were really good bills that needed to get through, and everything's ground to a halt. The NDP would not let the Local Food Act get through. My own colleague, Ernie Hardiman, had a very common sense, heart-tugging piece of legislation that he's introduced 4 times, and it's about mandatory carbon monoxide detectors in the home because of that tragic 4-family death years ago. And over and above that, that one piece that got through was the budget. And that's just under the cloud of corporate issues that have arose in the last couple of days. So I say 1.5 because we did get some work done on moving forward some pieces of legislation and private members initiative that will be further introduced later this fall when we get back there. But I can tell you, another thing that makes me very frustrated is that the Liberals and NDP have teamed together, so there's no committee work all summer. So in essence, what do we have in our hands? A mini prorogation. Nothing's going to get done. All the while, the government will be doing what we knew them to do last fall when they were officially prorogated.
What will your priority be during the summer then?
During the summer? Well, you might have picked up on the fact that over the last few weeks I've been challenging the Minister of Energy, Municipal Affairs and Housing, who am I missing? Rural Affairs and Environment, to call myself and like MPPs to their working group so we can get a proper vision and plan for green energy and an affordable, reliable energy mix going forward overall, and they haven't picked up on that. So I, with the support of our leader Tim Hudak and the rest of my caucus, we're going to be going out to our stakeholders, and we're going to be hosting an energy symposium at the end of July. Well, let me start that one again. We're going to be hosting our own energy symposium at the end of July and presenting recommendations straight from the stakeholders that are there that day to the working group to let them know what the real people are feeling and thinking in terms of what we need for an energy mix.
Where will this be?
It's going to be in Toronto, and we certainly will keep you abreast. I'm sorry about that, yes. But the realities are we're inviting people. The people who are going to be invited are municipalities, citizen groups, proponents, and other folks interested in where we go with our energy to this. So it has to be centered. And certainly we could do call-ins, and given the interest here, we have to be creative and maybe Skype you in, or we'll do something to keep you part of it. And we're going to invite observers as well from the Ministry of Environment, Energy, etc., folks that really need to be hearing what's going on. I'm excited about that.